Gambit versus Cloud9, and this is the map that yesterday we saw Gambit with the Resurgence performance just destroyed FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, that was utterly ridiculous. I mean, it seemed like all the planets aligned for them there, right? You kind of contrast that to their performance versus Liquid on this map, and it was a completely different story. So this really is a tale of two Gambits, and it depends which one we see in map number 3.
I think if you're Cloud9, you have to come into this expecting this to be a fast-paced, aggressive style from Gambit. That's what we saw that gave him that lead. Automatic has a lot of information of these two players coming in underpass. Skadoodle and Window. It's going to be a hit on A. Doja waiting in the wings on ramp. There's Mo and Fitch coming up. Hobbit on catwalk as well. And Cloud9, they're so confused of what's coming. It's all individual fights, but Tarek has held on. One bullet left in the chamber, and he's given a reprieve. But it's Rush and Stewie still waiting over at A. Here's Doja being spotted and Stewie just now coming out of Palace. But Gambit hasn't decided where to hit quite yet.
Yeah, I think you were right. I mean, initially, like, it was going to be out towards A, but now that it's a 3-on-3, they have to slow right down. You have Hobbit over on short. Adren's waiting in connector. Doja could run the risk of going down here. Rush and Stewie with this crossfire out on the A-bomb site and the aggression from Tarek. Look how much information he's got. The only downside that could possibly come of this is if he misses the timing peak, they are just have to push out towards A, so that's going to be all fine for him. Fantastic, actually. And now Doja has to try and step up, stuck between two players. He's able to open up with one, has support from Hobbit on short, and Hobbit's going to land it. But Tarek brought him up earlier on. There's the denial. And now 1 versus 1. Hobbit emerges. Tarek only just clocks on to where he's come from, and there's 27 seconds left and counting. So Tarek just gonna wait, knows the pressure's on, and that bomb is to go down. Hobbit gonna leave it down to the wire here, but there will be enough time for that bomb plant to come in.
Oh god, Tarek's just outplayed. Hobbit is just bounced out of this bomb site. This is incredible. And Tarek is just so far away from this plant now. This is just gut-wrenching if you're Tarek. He let Hobbit have a lot of space, a lot of ability to go get that bomb with plenty of time to book it. Tarek does have a kit to work with, but he's got to be so cautious. And this is all just eating time off the bomb.
Yeah, he has no information as to where Hobbit is. There's so many angles to check for him here, and he has to move swiftly. Pushing on in, time ticking away. Hobbit up in apartments, just going to be hiding around the corner. And Tarek going to go hunting for him, forces the issue, and is able to find it. So now...
Oh god, this is going to be so close. If he gets this, Tarek just bum rushes Hobbit. I think he's got it. I think he's got it just in the nick of time. Tarek with the heroic play. He had to just close his eyes and pray that Hobbit was exactly where he was running to. What a brilliant round from Tarek to save the day. First, these 2 kills are huge. But that is so impressive, ignoring all the possibilities of danger in that beat bomb site.
I mean, that was played very well. He knew he was strapped for time. He knew he had to act quickly. You can't just let someone sit up in apartments and, you know, abuse the clock on that bomb. So that's the round on the board for Cloud9. They get the pistol. They want to try and get this off to a good start. Already good nades damage inflicted as Hobbit's tagged low. This scout from Skadoodle does find damage in middle, but it's Stewie, the first man to get anything done. The trades come in. Fitch has gotten by. Skadoodle's trapped here, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he's going to go down as a result. Now Rush, all the pressure's on him as players start to group up and make their way in, but he's overstayed his welcome. He's somehow still alive here, finally dealt with. The bomb plant gonna get denied, and that's massive as Hobbit now finds himself 1 versus 2. Make that 1-on-1. The MAC-10, surely this isn't possible. He's done damage. And Tarek just waits. Just sits behind the box. There's so much riding on this for Cloud9. They need to get off to a good start here. And time just ticking down. Both players adamant on just staying their ground.
I can't believe Tarek hasn't moved.
Yeah, the discipline right now. Finally, he's going to break it. Out he goes, gets caught off guard, and Hobbit, he's able to win it out in the 1v1. The MAC-10 from range prevails, and Gambit, they will manage to get that round on the board. The force buy prevails.
Well, Hobbit returns the favor there with a MAC-10 at long range. It was Tarek to beat him out in the pistol round, and that is crushing for Cloud9. They are going to have the CZs, the armor as well. 3 MAC-10s on the board for Gambit. That's so tough. And look at Clever from C9. Pop flashes indicate what's coming. They're going to rush through underpass. No one's there to see, hear, or fight it. Dren's got to be careful coming back. He doesn't have a care in the world, though. Tarek's going to be in good position. Meanwhile, they're going to readdress over towards the A bomb site. Tarek going to have a quick flank. This defense is mostly set up for mid. It's just rush here today, and there goes Tarek. Fitch watching their back. Rush gives up his position as well. That's an easy kill for Doja. These MAC-10s are going to start gaining a lot of bonus money for this Gambit team, and still Cloud9 hasn't found anything.
Yeah, I mean, the second you lose Tarek and he's that far up, going to have some problems coming your way. Was expecting to see more from him. Skadoodle does dispatch of Mo over in mid. Now it's the 3-on-4. Gambit, they're grouped up, ready to push in towards A, and they will start to creep on out. They throw out that one smoke down for CT, and that's going to keep Automatic out of action. He wants to try and kick things up a gear, and struggles to do so. Stewie, in the meantime, in with 2, but Hobbit instant on the return. It manages to cement that second round. It comes down to the 1v1 once again for Hobbit, and he's feeling it today. Yes,
he's had a great series so far for Gambit. Obviously dominant on the first map, second map as well, putting in work. And here he's lost one important clutch, but he's won a couple big ones as well. And that round is surprisingly close, all things considered, coming in. Stewie finishing up, cleaning up some of those kills at the end and bringing it down to just Hobbit.
Look at this buy.
They do sustain. Yeah, they just want the bonus money. They know that last round was a buy with armor. They know it's unarmored opponents, and why not just rush? Why not just build up a bank? And there it is. 4 kills for the MAC-10s, a 5th as well. And if anything, if yesterday was a preview of this, they're probably going to keep all of those. Although immediately they switch out. Fitch gets the AK-47. I imagine that Dren's going to get an AK-47. But having 3 MAC-10s in your arsenal, you can do something very fast that can catch Cloud9 off guard.
More pup for Skadoodle. He's going to be taking that over towards B. 3 players here early on, so likely going to try their hand at some aggression up and towards apartments, you'd imagine. The early peek does come in from Skadoodle. No time for that, though, because Gambit, they've already rushed down through mid. They want to try and play things fast and loose with the MAC-10s, but Automatic and Stewie, they're not happy with that. 3 frags between them, and now it's just Doja and Mo left standing. This A bomb site has nothing pointed out on the desk. They are just going to leave it for the retake, and that pans out perfect for them. Already the rotations come in, and Cloud9 instantly going to take one straight back.
Yeah, Cloud9 was ready for that. Stewie right behind the smoke, Automatic on catwalk as well. Easy couple of kills here for Stewie, just holding down the trigger, and that pretty much seals it. All 5 players survive. They can build up plenty outside of this. Now they have all the nades they could want. Now they have 5 kits on board. The bonus round does not pan out for Gambit. They might have to slow things down now. Skadoodle and Mo both with an AWP. Skadoodle's going to have his in connector. Mo went for a pick on A ramp.
Wasn't able to find anything, though. That's the case with Skadoodle. He lies in wait over in mid. You can see Gambit there weary of the idea that there is going to be this aggression. Stewie's the one to try and give it for them, waiting for a flash to come out. And oh, he's going to be fully blind now, relies on Skadoodle. He's got Automatic over on short, and between them, this presence in mid is a force to be reckoned with. 3 players there. Stick it to Gambit, and now Doja tries to come in a refrag. He's able to get 1, but that should be it. As Cloud9, they've receded back out of middle. And they will just concede that with their man advantage.
Yeah, Doja's an opper in this round. Picks it up off Mo's dead body. He's got 1 kill. Tarek using that smoke to get an aggressive position. Adren right on the other side of it. Hobbit's going to go back towards the A bomb site, but the bomb will stick in these B halls. So that can either go through this down the stairs, through the underpass, over towards A, have some kind of a split. Automatic's playing on catwalk, though, so he can keep an eye on that. There is a smoke on Hobbit. It will be interesting to see where exactly that's going to be used for. Will be used to help his teammates get up. Yes, it will. They're going to boost into window, actually. So no real indication quite yet, if you're Cloud9, of where this hit is going to come from. Doja's alone at the bomb. They want to flank B. Cloud9 doesn't realize this is coming at all. Rush and Skadoodle both in CT spawn. Neither of them have checked this whatsoever. Adren is going to have a big, big kill on Tarek.
Yeah, this is massive. They've got no clue. There's Adren. He's going to come pouncing out. Tarek.
They can't plant. Time's over. Round's over. Just stay away. If you're Russian Skadoodle, Gambit, a clever idea, but doesn't pan out due to time. It just takes too long to come to fruition. And Cloud9 hold on just barely. It's 3-3. It's all tied up.
And now Gambit in a fairly awkward situation when you look at it in terms of how much money they've got floating around. Gonna see the force buy come in. They've got the 2 rifles in play. We had players that would have been on a double eco anyway, so bought down what they can around it. Now, Skadoodle gonna be holding mid this time. Playing it from window, waiting to see if any aggression tries to slip through that smoke down short. But it's actually apartments where their attention is going to have to get refocused towards. Automatics tagged very low over here on short. He only able to get one. Skadoodle's rotated in, and that was a quick flick. As he's turned it back into a 3-on-3. Going to go charging in. Skadoodle gets kept at bay. And now it's the man advantage up for Gambit with bomb planted.
These are the exact rounds that gave Gambit the advantage over FaZe, as these fast-paced, automatic, and Tarek not ready for that kind of hit over at the B bomb site. Stewie with the flank. He'll find Doja. Doja's not watching this at all. Flashbang is out. It blinds him. Blinds a second player. He can't get that kill. It's Rush's turn coming into the site. He adjusts, but he can't find it. Mo wins that duel with the pistol, and Stewie's got to move fast. He does have a kit. Turns around spinning, but Hobbit cleans it up. Big kill for him, and more props go the way of a guy who just recently was inexperienced, but now he's got it all. 4-3 for Gambit, and I think that's going to deplete most of the money on the Cloud9 side. And they're going to go for an interesting buy here. Great flick from Skadoodle. It's just not enough. A double op setup comes out for C9 with CZs surrounding it.
Yeah, I think Stewie's looked really good on the secondary AWP for them. Skadoodle's definitely been feeling it as well early on. So they go for a high-risk, high-reward buy, and Stewie is over in middle. Has to be careful because Hobbit is wrapping around through lower tunnels. Plays it around this smoke, but Mo gonna go ahead and decapitate him down in mid. Skadoodle does what he can on short, but he's tagged within inches of death. And already this A bomb site's come crumbling down. The only linchpin here is Rush as he gets left undetected. They've got no idea. Doja hasn't checked it, so he will pay for that with his life.
Rush has to fight his way out, though. He can't just sit there. And look at Gambit's progress across the map. There's a player in CT spawn. Hobbit just waiting, and this should be a pretty free kill, all things considered. Actually, not at all. He misses the shots into a 3-on-3. But still, Cloud9 hasn't moved from the B bomb site, and Rush is going to have to make yet another heroic effort.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone back in for more. Not a fan of shying away from the action. Rush, it's all eyes on him. He hears the bomb plant come in, nearly denies it. Does find great damage on Mo, but Adren is there to polish him off. And now Skadoodle, 7 HP in a dream, hands rotated into CT. Gambit just going to play this super passively. They know that there's very little on the cards right now for Cloud9, so a save will be in order. Gambit going to be onto a 5th round. Skadoodle keeps the AWP at least.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't mind the investment that Cloud9 does there with 2 AWPs. It's tough that nothing comes from them. They've at least salvaged the second one as well, at least for the time being, unless it gets hunted down. But we'll have both of them moving forward, so it's basically going to be an identical round, identical chances to find some kills. But Gambit have a big advantage here. 5-3 on the T side already, and they control the money. How much does C9? I don't think you invest anything outside. Like, you've already made the investment. You don't buy up on the other 3 players now. You have to get the rifles. You have to get the M4s back.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to grit their teeth here. Tarek actually gonna invest down into armor. So he's the one to take the AWP right now for Cloud9. Gonna be playing off the spawn, as he did have that spawn for mid. He's gonna go charging up into it with Skadoodle to reinforce, but already a man has snuck on by. They have to be careful. Tarek's able to open up. Now he just retreats, recedes back for a mid. Gambit, in response to this, actually going to start to charge in towards this B-bomb site, flooding their way in. Skadoodle is the first man there.
Skadoodle's entire job right now is to make sure no one can get to bench. The leg shot onto Adren. He's going to keep the angle, so he's called out that one has crossed. The other op is over on Catwalk, and Gambit doing a good job at the moment not being punished by either of them. There goes automatic. There goes Rush, and it's just Tarek boosted up who misses the shot. Again, they might have to sit this out, especially because Skadoodle is down. That would be a big kill to get, but Hobbit takes off the head of Stewie, and now Tarek, you'd love to keep this, but it's such a tough position to be in. One pushing Catwalk, you're being surrounded. There's the hit. Dropping down. Patiently waiting for a Dren's peek and spots the arm, gets that as well. Tarek showing off some skills, a well-rounded player, quite obviously. Gonna bail out to the top mid. He might just be able to do this. Fitch isn't close by. And there it is. Tarek saves the op, but silver lining, they've got to get into the winning ways pretty quickly now.
Yeah, the one upside there, though, is they have done damage. They keep the AWP. They wouldn't be able to get one otherwise, so that is always very handy there from Tarek, who survived against overwhelming odds. But look at this from Doja. I mean, it was just a mop-up from him.
Yeah, that was a very, very dirty round in a scenario where there could have been some danger that came out from that one. So the ops don't do as much damage as Cloud9 would have liked in those couple risky buys they have, but now moving forward, Mo is going to be in Palace with his. No one watching this, and he can just set up in this perch, and he can wait for someone from Cloud9 to wander back into his crosshair. Stewie's there at the moment, and that's an easy pick. Stewie comes right back into it, not prepared for that. A good switch up in positioning for Mo, and a very simple way to find an opening for Gambit.
Gambit, they've started to wrap back through T-spawn with that bomb in tow. Setting up for the A play. They've left the Dren all the way over a B. You can try to flank in or head in through lower tunnels. Also a support from Fitch up in top mid, but right now it's Doja, the man looking to try and find an entry. He's got support from Mo up in Palace. You can see rotations already starting to trickle on in from Cloud9. Tarek has departed B, and they're going to leave that wide open. And Gambit, they've got a fantastic read on this, starting this rotation back round. Now they look to refocus. Automatic's the only man over here on B, the only one who's going to have any clue as to what is going on. And he has to buy so much time. Luckily enough, still had that smoke left.
Gambit might have to go through that. I think that's going to disappear just under 20 seconds, so they're going to walk through it. There's the flashbang. Automatic with an off angle gets the first kill. Trying to stay alive, trying to buy that time, as you said. Skadoodle does take down one. It's a 3-on-3, but no one is quite here at the B bomb site. So the plant's going to go down. Mo's watching towards Catwalk. Not a lot of utility for Cloud9 to use, and Tarek just runs the gauntlet, gets picked out of the sky. And that kill from Doja is just going to seal it. Rush can't go for this whatsoever. Cloud9's defense is getting battered at the moment all across the map. Whether it's a fast B hit or whether Gambit readjusts late in the round over to the B bomb site, they haven't been able to stop any of it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of spoke about on the desk. Usually it's the A bomb site they kind of play in those retake-driven scenarios. They say that, you know, the B site was one of the ones where they find themselves getting exploited a fair bit. Just then you kind of see that, right? They go ahead, preemptively send everyone over towards A and Gambit off more than they can choose. So now it is going to be a 7th round for Gambit here. Rush is able to save. But that doesn't really give them much to work with here regardless. The extra M4, it's going to be nice for the extra firepower, but it doesn't facilitate a buy.
They could get lured into a buy. They're not going to. I mean, they're going to get a small investment. Deagle Armor, Scout on Tarek. I was going to say, Tarek actually had like, you know, 5,600 or something like that, so they could have picked up an op on him and bought around that and just seen if they could do anything. Not that desperate quite yet. This gives him a chance to have one more really solid purchase with M4s to try and put a stop to this run from Gambit. MAC-10 is back in Hobbit's hands.
Still, they have pulled together what they can for Cloud9. Is that going to be enough, though, to get much done here? Very lax hold on mid. Quite the opposite of what we've seen from Cloud9. The boost's going to be employed. They stick Rush up there, and that's netted him the early frag. Downrange onto Hobbit, but that's not much of an advantage. They do now have a man up, but it's only a MAC-10 dropped in mid.
They have 3 players over at the B bomb site as well. They've obviously been trained by Gambit to fear those B hits, and Skadoodle and Connector with just a P250 and no armor. He's going to be the next one up. Tarek, there's a good scout kill onto a Dren, hunts him down. Fitch has made his way into the ladder room, but Automatic's already got a kill with the Deagle. Even if he does fall here, he's done his work. And Cloud9, they could respond with this one. They could use this 4th round. Now it's just play passive, don't get picked off, force Gambit to commit into a bomb site, force them to commit into a crossfire.
You can see how reluctant Gambit are, but with only 25 seconds left, they have to get moving. They have to pick a site, hedge their bets, and make their way in. It's going to be A, but Stewie, well, he massacres both the players in Connector. They get shut down. And Gambit, they really seem to struggle up against these 4 spies when it seems like, you know, Cloud9 are playing around with a big disadvantage that they don't have much to lose. That's when Gambit falls short. Once again, same case what we've seen throughout all the maps tonight. And that's that they kind of lose that first man and then they try to gain back some ground as a result and then just get punished for it in the one-on-ones.
Tactical timeout from Cloud9 as well. They know they cannot get responded upon. I mean, winning a round like that is a good way to just boost your economy in its own right because they obviously salvage, you know, 3 weapons or so and don't need to spend money on that. But you still, if you're Cloud9, you're still saying in your head, we can win this half. Despite everything that's happened, we can end this 8-7 on the CT side. We can make this comeback happen and give ourselves a lead into the second half. So that's what they're aiming to do. Freeze time coming to an end here. Skadoodle's going to have the AWP. Mo's got one as well. Mo again going towards the A-bomb site. Skadoodle the same thing.
This time though, Skadoodle. Rush, well, he falls. Skadoodle's there to get one back in retort. Tries to duck away, damage being done. As rotations coming round, Skadoodle, what are you doing? He's going to be in with 3. Does get burnt out in his own Molotov. You hate to see it. As he goes down, but still he's netted a massive advantage here for Cloud9. They've got the man advantage. They have control of the bomb as it's dropped outside of ramp. And it's a great return to form there in that round from Skadoodle. He'd been bottom of the board. And with that, he started to rise himself up. Doubled his kills in 1 round.
You love that performance. Even if he burns himself alive, if you're Cloud9, you are thanking him for his work because that was a knife's edge away from just losing the bomb site completely. Great mobility from him, catching off the player in Palace and then responding as well. So Stewie's in a tough position, and he's going to get taken down. Cloud9 seems to be convinced that there were players inside of that A-bomb site. No one really peering for information. They've gone very passive, and now Tarek's in a tough spot. Cloud9's in a tough spot. They've got to figure out what bomb site they're going to, and in order to do that, looks like they're going to split up.
And that's risky. Mo and Adren, they've grouped up over here at B. Tarek is going to be there to get the information. Automatics moving around to join him. And after the efforts of Skadoodle, Cloud9 do not want to let him down. Tarek remains hidden. There's so little time left. He's forced their hand, peeks into this. He's dropped the bomb, and that could be all the difference. Adren now left 1 versus 2. Has to take the fight, and Tarek, he's going to do it. 1 versus 2 inside the site. Saves the ult forward as well. Cloud9, they're going to be springing straight back into action. You said so yourself, they could still win this out with 8 rounds in this half. And that's what they want. Now they've finally done the damage. And yeah, I know, this replay from Skadoodle was just absolutely ridiculous.
You can't even really fault him for it, because even though he's not being pressured when he goes down the ladder, he has no idea. I mean, that's purely playing by instinct and just trying to find your next opponent and then trying to get the hell out. So he runs to his own death and his own fire. Finally, Cloud9, they get to take a breath of some sort. I mean, they're still going against an investment. They're still going against pistol armor, which is dangerous, obviously, and a good amount of utility, but I think they'll take this. Although they can't lose it. They lost, remember, they won the pistol and they lost the second round, so another one of these would be the backbreaker. 5-7. Skadoodle with the opposite window. Doja and Adren are going to make their way through underpass, and the rest of their teammates are just waiting for them to get into position, and there it is. Smokes are out. Stewie, he's got a decision if he wants to play in front of him. They're going to play retake on A, though. Rush is going to be behind his own. Adren and Doja, they're coming up now. Stewie's got to be careful, but he's going to go right through the smoke. There's the bomb down. He's got 2 more. Holding the off angle, finds Hobbit, and above comes Mo to clean him up. Skadoodle's not ready for that from Doja, though. Adren takes him down, so there's some danger here.
Late rotation from Tarek. He's going to get tagged low in the process, so he's no use to Cloud9 here. Instead, it's Rush and Automatic inner side of the site, and Doja, he makes things risky. Cloud9, they're able to get back on top of that situation, albeit just by the skin of their teeth, and that was not much of an investment from Gambit. Now comes the real deal, and this is where the metal is going to be tested for Cloud9.
Stewie making that play through the smoke, slows things down, prevents the plant as well. Does leave Skadoodle open on his rotation to players coming through connector, which he wasn't ready for. So the money is not great. They do take heavy losses in that round. 6-7 as they come back. There's Skadoodle right through the smoke, finds the timing. Again, a lot of presence, at least in those B halls, although Hobbit goes underpass. Adren wants to find a one-on-one duel here, but he's forced away by utility. Everyone on the Gambit side, everyone on the Gambit offense is alone.
Yeah, no opportunities to trade here. I mean, luckily enough, Doja's able to go ahead and find them that.
That's the second time Stewie's been caught off by that peek over in Palace. This time at least he's aware and he dinks Doja, but he's died twice now to the same way.
Gambit, they're just going to be given mid on a silver platter from Cloud9. The only man who can do anything about it is Automatic.
It's a big fight in Palace, though. Rush is getting aggressive, and Doja forces him back with 6 HP. Skadoodle's got to protect him from behind, from Connector. Hasn't taken a shot just yet, and he's feeling uncomfortable inside the bomb site. There's Hobbit. He's been spotted as well. Skadoodle goes for the peek, and he wins that. Big kill. Automatic chiming in also. Fitch and Window could turn the tides. Doja's low, so it's got to be on Fitch. And Tarek, meanwhile, rotating back to Catwalk. Skadoodle again holding down the fort, but they're so low, and they're dodging all these bullets. Somehow Doja hasn't been able to grab anything. And 4 kills for Skadoodle. Cloud9 ties it up 7-7.
I mean, there's just something about Skadoodle. I mean, he can just be having an off day 1 minute, right? It doesn't look like he's going to pick things up, and then suddenly he's propelled back and being just such a key player for Cloud9. It took him a while to get going. He only had 3 frags up until 2 rounds ago. And now going to be sitting pretty with 10 kills to his name. It's gone down by 1 because of the suicide.
Ah, I see what you've done there.
There you go.
I was wondering about that. Clever, clever. Tarek with the up this time. Automatic trying to spam. There's good mid-presence here from Gambit. Fitch and Mo up top. Hobbit coming from the underpass. Stewie in the window room. No eyes on it to any degree. Automatic doing what he can to watch for a connector, but a lot of attention his way from utility. There's the pick from Tarek. Dren's been looking for that one-on-one. It hasn't worked out too well, and Automatic's Molotov is going to slow down this catwalk hit.
Yeah, quite crucially as well. I mean, they're looking out for a way out of here, but Stewie going to be posted up in window. Denies the presence of Mo. They've been allowed to slip up through connector and into jungle. Stewie still waits, holds down the fort, and Cloud9, they do exactly as you said, Jason. They're going to be able to win out the half with an 8-7 scoreline over Gambit.
And you got to be so happy about that ending this first half. It looked so scary for C9. They took the timeout, and you know that's what they said. You know they said, let's win these last 5 in a row. Let's go into halftime with a lead, and they do just that. 8-7 for C9 in this final map. Loser goes home. We'll see how it ends after the break. One half remaining for one of these teams, and it's the Oracle Arena for the other. Tarek and Doja both leading their squads at the top of the scoreboards, trying to find the arena. 15-7 for Tarek, 14-13 for Doja. Tarek involved in a couple of those early clutches, but he's had a bit more help than Doja. He's had a couple great rounds from Stewie. Skadoodle's obviously come alive a number of times with that AWP. Cloud9 make a great comeback in that first half. Now they just have to close it out.
And for Cloud9, order of the day going to be aggression over here towards middle. They wait and see if Gambit try their hand at aggression. Clearly been watching their demos from the FaZe game because we saw how frequently Adren tried to go for that mid-aggression. This time, though, it's a more passive stance that nets them the man advantage. There's the man in question down in connector. As Adren and Hobbit between them, just dispatch of this mid-play. Rush tries to gain what ground he can over here at B. Doja going to go ahead and fall out of fashion with that because the B bomb site without the bomb is a picnic without sandwiches. Now it is just Skadoodle left. Speaking of sandwiches, he's going to go down there. Rush is left 1 versus 5.
That was a great mid setup from Gambit. They were all peaking at different times, and I mean, obviously the early pick helps, but there was just too many Gambit players for Cloud9 to overcome at that range. No utility to kind of isolate them from any different attack, so also really struggled to find one player they could group up on just because there were so many of them to fight. And it's just down to Rush. This is looking like a pistol round for Gambit. Cloud9 won the first one, but lost the second round, so take from that what you will.
Right now, I mean, Rush doesn't even have armor to play with, so Aim Punch going to play into this. He's allowed to slip by. They know where he is now with only 30 seconds left. Taking these close duels with the Glock. It's going to do him a world of good. Gets caught, though, in the crossfire, and Gambit, they will secure themselves the pistol. So now, in an ideal setup to actually take this lead, although we have seen time and time again, Gambit, actually both of these teams struggle at, you know, winning out the anti-ecos.
And Cloud9 would absolutely love to return the favor here. They would be so incredibly happy for that. 4 Deagles on the board with armor. Skadoodle doesn't invest in anything. He wants his AWP as quick as possible. Dren's gonna cross. That's the fight Tarek wants. He wanted that one shot and it doesn't connect. Automatic with the Deagle has been the man that Cloud9 has been able to lean on to find one of those nice headshots. He's alone at top mid. He's got a scout and window and an M4 to deal with on catwalk. He gets tagged down and just backs away. And now Cloud9, with no utility, have a decision to make where exactly they want to go. And it looks like A is the answer as Tarek starts to probe up. Fitch is back here playing retake, flashbang out. It's going to slow things down. There's 3 players of Gambit ready to defend this A bomb site, though. Without smokes, I don't think there's a chance Cloud9 is able to get into the bomb site.
Cloud9 going to try and do all they can with these Deags. Mo gonna peek into ramp. There are 3 players here. That leg shot does some decent damage, and in the meantime, he reads it well. Rush tries to go in and inflict damage back, but pays for it with his life. Now, Cloud9, time working against him. Only 40 seconds left, looking displaced. Tarek started to rotate off. The bomb still waits at ramp. They're going to look to split into this, and that scout is still doing damage. Stewie falls to Mo in mid. The trade will come through. And now, 25 seconds, this push finally going to begin from Cloud9. Tarek grabbed himself the scout. Gets caught off guard from short. Does find some damage to Doja, but it's automatic and Skadoodle left to try and clutch. With only 10 seconds, automatic, a man in a dream has to knock things up a gear, and this man, he's gonna do it. Does find 2. Hobbit trades, but those Deags were fire.
I mean, he really salvages that investment from Cloud9, because if Automatic doesn't get those last 2 kills, then, I mean, you don't do as much economic damage as you like. So if you're not going to get the plant, if you're not going to get a chance to win in a post-plant, then you might as well at least inflict that kind of monetary damage in that sense. So nicely done from Automatic right at the end to find something out of that. But great job from Gambit. It's just Glocks they're going against. Automatic actually has a Deagle based off the kills. I think that a couple kills there prompted him to just say, if I invest in one more, I'm not losing money on it. So nade out. That's going to land right at Stewie's feet, and he's going to burn. You hate to see that.
You do hate to see it. They're going to try and run boost over. Oh, but it's Mo there, not with a scout or with an AWP. It's the M4. Doesn't fool him. the ideal place to be. Those Glocks can do damage, but here's Doja with the backstab.
A couple of kills come out. Mo actually didn't hit a single bullet on that run boost, so he got real caught off guard by that. And then the follow-up. So, into the first gun round, critical for Cloud9. You don't want to let Gambit start running away with this early and have to make a comeback in map 3. Op into Skadoodle's hands. Op in Mo's hands as well. Both of them with 11 kills, or I guess technically 12 on Skadoodle since he burned himself, as you mentioned. Mo's going to have his towards mid. The Bomb, Rush, and Skadoodle and Stewie are going to go towards A. It's Adren and Fitch playing close up here.
We've already got a lot of presence down through mid. Mo's not hitting anything with this AWP, and as a result, look at the positioning of Automatic. He's going to go charging into window, and they've got no idea. Luckily enough, Hobbit tries to get things back under control, but it's Automatic in this position that if Doja keeps creeping forward, he could very easily go down. In the meantime,
yeah, it's a huge kill for Automatic to get. Now he's kind of split this defense.
You can see they're so fixated on dealing with him. They've had to keep Mo and Hobbit waiting in the wings. And Cloud9 going to start this rotation over to B. Automatic, if he gets in there now, he could clear this site. Hold things more aggressive up towards shop and deny these rotations.
It's kind of cool because it was Automatic initially in mid when he got that position that kind of was a lurker, and that's how he gets that kill on a Doja pushing up on Catwalk. Now that he finds that success and he creates an avenue to get out, it's Stewie who becomes the lurker in Palace. Now, they have a decision to make because they don't really have a lot of utility to cross up and go to the B bomb site, but they've at least forced Hobbit back over to B. They've forced Mo to be very passive because they don't have control of window room, so they can use these smokes and the 2 Molotovs wisely. They can find some entries onto this A bomb site. There's 25 seconds left. They're going to have to speed this up.
Yeah, time once again, the bane of Cloud9 here as they start to push in. Fitch is able to do one. In the meantime, Adren rains death down from CT, and it's a bit of a massacre right now, but Skadoodle, he's a fan of that. The bomb plant will come in. Rush, damage inflicted across the board, is allowed to get the hell out of there, and he's still lighting these players up. Mo left 1 versus 2, has to swap out to the rifle, starts to sneak in, and Rush is able to do it. 3 frags for him as he gets the hat-trick and locks down the A-bomb site there for Cloud9.
That's an aggressive peek from Rush with low HP. I mean, if he dies there, he's got his teammate Skadoodle with an AWP, an unwieldy position. He's got a Molotov this whole time as well. I figured he would use it at some point. But he just takes the fights and wins. Dinked there. This is the risky play here. But a good shot onto Mo. Big win for C9. They get their 9th. Gambit call a timeout. They're out of money. Adren's got 5,600. He's the one who can feel comfortable buying whatever he wants, but the rest of them would be back on a pistol, so this is going to be a save for Gambit. So Cloud9, they do reset. It goes back to those Deagle kills that Automatic got right at the end that forced the rebuys and a couple of Glocks in the following round. So we've got what could very easily be a tie game on our hands pretty quickly here.
I mean, we've got a Deeg purchased up for Fitch, but that is literally it for Gambit here. P250 going to come in late from Hobbit just to prove me wrong. Cloud9 stacking up at ramp, and they're very wary of the fact that Gambit might try something aggressive here, might try and switch up the pace as the money has run dry. Mo holds things aggressive. Fitch is over on stairs. Now the push comes in. They don't check for Mo. He does find damage, but that's it for him as Tarek lands the quick flick on up. The push now starting to trickle on in. There's everyone here from Gambit. They're going to be using that boost that Liquid used against them just the other day to try and net an advantage. It's not meant to be, though. There's a rifle there. You can see they're desperately trying to claw their way onto it. Dojo to pick things up. But he'll fall promptly after. Fitch left 1 versus 4. Just wants to try and inflict any extra damage at this point. Oh, how's he been allowed to push so far out? Tarek was holding the angle, but Skadoodle's the one to find the frag. It's going to go 10-10, all tied up.
You'll notice as well, Cloud9 is employing a smoke onto stairs that doesn't land at the top of stairs. It lands a couple steps down, so it still blocks off any defender that's there, but it allows Stewie the ability to jump over and have clear vision and take fights around the edge of it. So that's something to look forward when it comes to the gun rounds. Tarek, a little bit lucky there. That wasn't a CZ or a P250 because that could have done a lot of follow-up damage, but that kind of a save round was all for this next one as Gambit buys up and they invest into it. Mo's going to have the op. They do have a UMP on Doja, but they've got a couple of N4s as well. Tactical pause out of Cloud9. They know this is a big round. Every round is essentially big down the stretch here. 10 more rounds in this third map, potentially. Winner going on to the semifinals in the Oracle Arena starting on Saturday. And they would be playing FaZe, and Cloud9 would be playing in front of a home crowd. And we all know Gambit has had one of the teams that's had probably the best edge over FaZe in the past in this impressive run out of FaZe. So a lot of implications that can go into that semifinal.
But right now, going to be seeing Mo. He's got himself the AWP. Currently waiting a connector. And Cloud9, once again, a complete switch up. It's going to be almost everyone over here towards B. They do leave Tarek behind. This really is crunch time now for Gambit. I mean, their economy has bottomed out. They've got $300 between the 5 of them. So buying to the next round is a no-go. Even if they win this, they want to try and win it cleanly because it's not a similar story for Cloud9. They'll be able to get something together regardless.
Well, they're hoping this small amount of pressure from Tarek is going to keep some players over at A, maybe make them adjust their positions across the map. We'll see. Keep your eye on the mini-map if anyone moves. At the moment, it's just a Dren who considered it, but with no actual presence at A, that does essentially nothing. So, it is going to be Hobbit and Doja to defend this B bomb site. If the hit does indeed come in there, there's the peek from a Dren. They do lure him in like that. They find another way to get him out of position. The flick from Mo doesn't work. He looks like he wants to go for a re-peek. He's got to be careful. There's players up on Catwalk. That's Stewie holding the position, waiting to pounce a wall of smokes, and it looks like Cloud9's going to come right through it, and there goes Doja. He's down to rush, and he's found Hobbit as well, and there's the kill from Tarek. Surrounding the bomb site, Skadoodle chiming in on Mo. That is a dominant round. Gambit never saw it coming.
Yeah, second they lose the Dren down to mid. You can see the amount of pressure that's applied. Cloud9 just funnel everyone down through short and apartments. Start to split in. The only man who could have done anything was Mo, and he was caught out in connector from the peek out through lower tunnels. It was very well read from Cloud9. They very much had Gambit's number there. And Fitch, desperate to save this M4.
That's just so, I mean, it's so many different fakes and feints being thrown in, and for a team Cloud9 that's often described as not being the most tactical team, there's a lot of thought and strategy put into a round like that. Tarek just throws minimal with no presence over towards A. No one even budges. Then you throw the wall of smokes and they execute over towards B. And that forces a Dren to peek in mid just to get the information because he's just confused of what's happening with utility on 2 different bomb sites. And he's in perfect position to get picked off from Catwalk. And then obviously you have Mo who gets into a fight, and you put a flanker like Stewie into connector, and he can wreak havoc. So great job by Cloud9 of pulling the defense a lot of different ways and then getting players in the correct positions in the cracks that it creates to destroy them.
Cloud9, they're very much in the driving seat here in this round. Once again, it's early presence out towards mid. Looking to try and use these rifles at range, but they do have the advantage over Gambit. Fitch, of course, carried the M4 from the previous round. He's going to be waiting over at ramp with it. Cloud9, they're afforded control of middle. You can imagine the players here. They're just going to sit pretty, wait and see if Gambit try to force the issue anywhere across the map, and wait for them to make a mistake. Step out of line in an act of desperation.
Fitch has that M4 over towards the A bomb site. He's backing off now. He's got to be careful. If Tarek turns that corner, he's exposed. Now covered up by the wooden hole. Molotov, and actually a Dren peeks into it, so does Mo. The M4 is going to get taken out by Tarek, and he spins around to get a second. That's quite nice. And they've lost 2 players. They now know where Doja is as well, who's struggling to get the AK-47, but he does find it. And his goal is to save that. Oh, he starts moving closer. There's no one there to punish it, so Skadoodle's going to get the bomb down. 12-10 for Cloud9 after this, and they've got plenty of money. They've got 4 players sitting at 5,500 or well above it.
Yeah, Cloud9, they're the ones in the driving seat here. A 12th round locked in, as you said, plenty of money. And Gambit, they've been knocked out. Now they're struggling to get back up. It's been 4 in a row for Cloud9. We haven't really seen too much out of Gambit in these rifle rounds. They've had 8 out of a... Actually, no, 11 out of a possible 15 players stay alive for Cloud9. So they've been building up a decent bit of money over the last 3 rounds. Finally, though, we're going to see Gambit back onto a bye in the next. And thanks to this AK being carried forward, they should have enough to get that AWP up. That could be thrown over. That's no problem.
Well, another timeout coming for Gambit as they have been stumped in the second half. The defense is getting run over ever since the guns have been in Cloud9's hands. A couple cool tactics from C9 in this half have put them in a good lead. 12-10, it's not super comfortable quite yet, obviously, but again, the tough part for Gambit is even with this losing bonus building up, it's not at its full strength just yet, but they're outside of Doja, they're bought out to essentially nothing. 2 players on 0, Hobbit on 50, so tough part is every time they lose a round, they're just pretty much completely reset, which is so heartbreaking. It's so hard to challenge consistently. This would be a huge round. Mo has the AWP. Adren has an M4, but he's light on nades outside of a smoke. Mo's got nothing. But they need some kind of an individual effort to put him back on track. And Cloud9, they're not messing around. This isn't going to be a subtle round. This isn't going to be a tactical round. This is just going to be a barrage towards this A bomb site. Stewie's going to lead the way up. There is Fitch in A spawn, in CT spawn, but he's got nothing. He gets taken out immediately by Tarek trying to get back. Mo around the edge of the smoke. Misses Tarek going by, so Tarek now has control of steps.
Yeah, man advantage for Cloud9. Bomb planted, everything going their way. Adren's able to find good damage in through that smoke. Mo, he's dropped down Stewie. Of course, Tarek still resides down in CT. They have to be cautious now. They're going to start to try and make their way in. There's crossfire set up between the players over towards Tetris. And Sandwich has to be perfect. Push comes through, automatic. Able to get one. The frags go back and forth. It's a 2 versus 2, and Skadoodle and Rush almost back to back. They're able to make it work. Cloud9. They are unrelenting right now, 13-10. They want to try and close this out here and now. Secure their spot in the Oracle Arena versus FaZe. And Gambit, well, they're looking a little bit deflated. It seems like we're seeing day one Gambit once again. They have to try and scrape something together here to put a stop to this tyranny from Cloud9.
You have to like this play calling from C9 right now. I mean, all props to Tarek in these past few rounds. A couple strategic rounds to really throw Gambit off, and then you just go for something simple. And they have a mid-control setup, and that A hit decimates him. Fitch, most inexperienced player on Gambit, gets caught out in the open at a critical time. And now with only 3 flashbangs in the arsenal of nades that you have, it's got to be individual plays, and that one's not going to work. Adren gets dropped by Rush early, so 1 minute and 20 seconds of a 5-on-4 advantage.
So much time. That frag goes in very early on, and Cloud9 now, they can just afford to sit back and relax, but that's not the case. Instead, they're going to start to force the issue into connector. Doja and Hobbit try to employ this boost, but it's been read very well. You can see a couple of players keeping an eye on that. Actually, they're going to start to peel away. The timing's great, but Hobbit doesn't get anything from it. Does find one, but automatic. Posted up the trade. Now the split comes in from Stewie out from apartments. Everyone's blind. It's a disaster on short, but Tarek does pick it up. It's all on Mo. All the way over at A. This round going to be going the way of Cloud9. 14-10. Only an AWP to work with into the next round. It's not looking good. Yeah,
and Mo just has to save this weapon. There's no chance of him winning this, and there's plenty of money to go for the hunt if you're a Cloud9 player at the moment. You can see Skadoodle has got him boxed in. Doesn't actually look like they're going to go for it, but that's great. The kills come out, and they just bum rush themselves up catwalk, and by the time all the kills happen on the B side of the map, there's no one even moved from Gambit in A. They're not even close to trying to make that retake happen. Cloud9 overwhelming this defense, and there's not a whole lot of rounds left that Gambit can make these calls to save it. Eventually, they just have to go for it. They just haven't had any good opportunities to do it. 14-10, and again, they're in that cycle of buy whatever you can, which is mostly just FAMASes with light utility.
I mean, ultimately, that is not enough, and it's never been enough for this Gambit side. They've been struggling to see those big individual plays from kind of big players such as Hobbit really come through. Right now, it's Doja top of the board stepping up. Of course, the IGL for Gambit, and not usually someone we're used to seeing right up there at the top. Fitch still having a fairly quiet game.
He's had a couple of tough rounds on the CT side. The one that comes to mind is just that straight-up execute from Cloud9 where they pick him off trying to jump away from Ticket Booth, and that's maybe some inexperience shining in. Although we did see him at Malmo, his first tournament, where he was phenomenal in that kind of a retake position. Either way, this time it's not working out. It's been 6 straight rounds for Cloud9 on this T side. Once they've gotten the guns in their hand, and now they have the economy to back up any kind of play they want to call out of the book. So Gambit maybe conceding just a bit here since, you know, these half-buys haven't worked. They want to have everything they possibly can to fight for overtime. They have an AWP on Mo and 4 CZs surrounding it. And Mo is going to get aggressive. This is what you want to see. If this is your buy coming into it, you tell Mo to go find a kill, go find a pick, an advantage, so that these CZs can really go to work.
And while he doesn't find a frag up in the top of mid, he does get information. Didn't see anyone there. No one was holding the angle from Cloud9. They know it's not going to be a mid presence that we see. Instead, now as this utility just bombards the B-bomb, so that could be enough to pull off a significant number of rotations here, and it looks like it will be a fake from Cloud9. As that bomb doubles back, Rush and Tarek try to sell what they can. We haven't seen an over-rotation. The lack of anything here at B.
It's going to come, because Rush and Tarek are about to redo and execute at this B-bomb site. I imagine they're going to hit it, and that's going to pull a lot of rotations, especially if they get just 1 or 2 of these kills. And that'll be perfect for Automatic, Skadoodle, and Stewie over towards the A. They're in Palace. They're waiting patiently.
Now they're lining up these smokes and flashes. In they go, as you say. Now they look to sell us, make it look like the double fake. And Adren, well, he's going to peek into Palace. He does take one with him. That's the information gained. And these rotations are already coming in from Gambit. The bomb plant will get denied. Fitch able to pull that one back. Skadoodle's up in Palace, completely out of position. Tarek falls up on the boost, and Skadoodle, he'll go down shortly after Gambit. They managed to get that round back under control and get an 11th round.
That's got to be worrying for Cloud9. You try and throw a fake in here on Gambit. They've worked all to this point, but not that time. And it's just the decision of Adren to push forward instead of rotate away. His idea to flank through Palace. They find the bomb. So all the rotations going to the B bomb. So you can see, as soon as he gets the kill, we're not going to see the replay, but as soon as he gets the kill, the rotations just stop. They just stop and everyone moves back towards A because the bomb's been spotted on the radar. Now they have a new breath of life. Adren behind the smoke. He's going to make a play, but it's shut down by Automatic. Mo is in connector. He picks off Automatic. He can't recover in time. That's Tarek continuing the pace. And Skadoodle now finding Fitch as well. The A bomb site is lost. Even with a chance, Gambit cannot stop this Cloud9 attack.
Yeah, Doja's done what he can to try and rein this one in.
Oh no, this is really risky.
Oh, she's going to get away with it, but you were kind of gritting your teeth there, unsure as to the fate of the man. Right now, Doja and Hobbit left in a very tricky retake. Doja's tag low. Hobbit does have a decent bit of utility to try and work with. Starts to throw in the barrage. Skadoodle and Stewie with this crossfire that's going to cause them so many problems. Rush gets found. Hobbit's been tagged low, and then Skadoodle finishes him off. That will be a 15th map and series point here for Cloud9.
Oh, that's tough. Smoke just popping up, and Fitch was seen right before it plumed. So great job by Skadoodle reading that through the smoke. Yeah, this is last-ditch effort for Gambit, but here's the cool thing is because they won that previous round they won was with all CZs, and they pretty much upgraded 3 or 4 players. They have plenty of money. So last-ditch effort to switch into a double op setup. Hobbit's got one, Mo's got the other. Cloud9 again. This round it looks like they're not going to do anything fancy. Tarek is going to be at the back of mid playing passive. 3 players poised on a ramp, and Stewie and Palace. But Hobbit, Fitch, and Adren are all here.
Yeah, they ought to be walking into the more stacked of the two. This is it from Cloud9. It all accumulates down to this moment here. They want to try and close this out here. And now. Stewie waits. Weary of that aggression we saw from Adren earlier on in Cloud9. They get cold feet potentially. They're going to start to rotate players away. Leaves the bomb there, so still the opportunity to head in towards A bomb side, but it looks like they might try and focus on mid before they commit to this.
Mo's got a great angle, though. If he doesn't get flashed off this, he does. Cloud9 very aware, and then he loses the battle to Tarek. Just a side swipe from that AK-47. Mo can't even react, and there goes Adren. He responds with a push and it goes nowhere. Fitch is alone at A and he's gone, and it looks like Cloud9 has done it.
Oh, Hobbit though wants to try and prove you wrong. Bomb plant still yet to come in. Doja trying to lock it down with the AWP from short. Bomb will go down. Doja's held back by that smoke. And for the time being, Hobbit is all alone in CT. Smoke fades, Skadoodle's on the other side. And now Hobbit 1v4. It all comes down to this. He's been on fire today. He's able to get the first, starts to make his way in, but Skadoodle and the rest of the gang hold the angle. Cloud9, they will win out the series 2-1. 16-11 on Mirage. They managed to get